Good morning, good afternoon, namaste, ni hao. Welcome to this session of the city of Magdeburg. I would like to introduce you straight away and inform you about the business opportunities that exist in Magdeburg. My name is Thorsten Terwyden, and I'm the head of the International Office for Economic Development that is part of the city's administration. Here you can see our location centrally in Europe. You can see that Magdeburg is bang in the center of Germany and in the urban region of Berlin, Leipzig, and Hanover. We have trimodal transport connections via rail, road, and water, and I'll come to that in a second a bit. And we focus mainly on sectors that are IT, ICT, MedTech, CleanTech, Industry 4.0, advanced manufacturing, mechanical engineering, and also e-mobility in a wider sense. You can see some figures also about the city. We are a city of 240,000 inhabitants. And what are our strengths? Just quickly an overview. I mentioned the location. I mentioned the transport links. I mentioned some of the business opportunities in those sectors that are listed. And I can also say, and you'll hear about that in a minute from Mr. Blobner and Dr. Assmann, that we have some innovation-focused applied research and science landscape in Magdeburg, and something completely different, but also very relevant for you from abroad, in case you were considering to put a base in Germany through the city of Magdeburg, in the city of Magdeburg, then you will find that Magdeburg is really providing a very moderate cost structure when it comes to the real estate prices, be it the industrial land or be it private properties for rent or for purchasing. So there are really some opportunities that exist in real estate for investing, but also to do business and to start your operation in the city. We are here providing an overview of e-mobility. You can see for yourself some interesting facts, I hope. What is interesting, I find, is that the OEMs, some of those car manufacturers that are within the vicinity of Magdeburg, in the neighborhood, for example, places like Wolfsburg, where VW, Volkswagen are based, they are in the vicinity of Magdeburg. And there are also 5 gigafactories in operation or currently being built within 150 kilometers or 100 miles radius of Magdeburg. And that has a strong bearings on us because we are in the middle of this, and we play already a logistical role in this because a lot of the commodities that are used in running and also building those gigafactories, battery technology factories, is being shipped through the port of Magdeburg. And something a bit about our charging infrastructure, which is your deep dive into our e-mobility in Magdeburg. Of all new cars, you can see here that we're registered, 17.6% are electric. We have charging points. We are building more charging points. We also have a funding program for the development of further e-charging infrastructure. And so the city has a good supply already, and this is something that is important to us as a city council, but also in a wider sense. We are very keen on contacts to e-mobility companies. And e-mobility companies will find an automotive cluster in Magdeburg, which has many companies are members there of this automotive cluster from Magdeburg, but also from the surrounding areas. And they, you can see, they are focusing on innovations, on market implementation. And we also have an Institute for Competence and Automobility. And later you will hear from Dr. Assmann, Institute for Automation and Communication, and also about the Galileo test field, which is a testing place for autonomously driven vehicles. I've also put a few highlights here for you. If you ask me what's going on in Magdeburg, we are proud that in the vicinity of, in the neighborhood of Magdeburg, just to the north of the city center, in a place called Barleben, we recently located a company called Horiba from Japan that are building a global competence center for the testing of fuel cells and batteries. You can see a nice 30 million euro investment. So you see, when I mentioned earlier the gigafactories, what role Magdeburg is playing, that is also a role in the testing of battery technology. And you can see some of the other headlines that are listed here. Then in terms of autonomous driving, it's quite interesting and exciting. I find that in the summer, an electric bus will go on tour. It's a first autonomously driven electric vehicle that will provide a shuttle pilot line between city center and our, it's actually not the city hall, it's actually the, it's a multi-purpose hall in a park on the eastern side of the river Elbe, because we are a river city, as you may remember from the first picture that I showed you. And the bigger picture is also in the two-wheeler market that Magdeburg and the whole of Germany is actually booming in bicycle market. So there are really market opportunities, I suppose, for the for vendors of e-bikes, especially from in India. I understand you have lots of experience there. And the share of electric cars is rising. And this is actually two headlines here. I can translate: artificial intelligence for Magdeburg. So there's a new artificial intelligence center intended. This was the headline in June 2019. And then an extension to the Fraunhofer Institute that is exists in Magdeburg, and you'll hear about that from Mr. Blobner later. I mentioned Fraunhofer. There's also a competence center from the Mittelstand, from the medium-sized companies. So we have a wealth of multipliers, stakeholders, associations that can also help companies from overseas to land in the city, to navigate the city, to understand. And I list a few more. But what is really our highlight, we're very proud of that we have leading research institutes, science and research institutes. For example, you can see some of them listed here. I mentioned Fraunhofer, but there's also Max Planck Institute and the Leibniz Institute for Neurobiology. So you can see some of the topics they are working on, and we'll provide a deep dive in a second. The Port of Science is a site where the Fraunhofer are based and where companies can actually land and can find a really good working environment in a picturesque setting. Port of Magdeburg, I mentioned it, it's independent of water levels. It's got 3 to 4 million tons shipments levels, volume per year. And excuse me, this is my timer. My time is up. But I left the highlight for the end. We are looking forward to developing this 350 hectare industrial and commercial area, which is in the southwest of the city near the motorway. And this is provides ample opportunity for large greenfield projects. And it's called Owl Hill, which translates in German to Eulenberg, so Owl Hill in English. We do have funding available. We can explain this. My department can explain some of the basics of the funding that is available to foreign and domestic companies. And what we offer as a department of the city of Magdeburg, we offer free networking, we offer support in your language, English and Chinese. And we can also help with getting you the right contacts in the city administration when it comes to the residency permits and bureaucratic formalities, planning permissions, and so on. And we can also support you in your location search and give you any additional support you may require. And this is all from me. I'm super excited to be part of the Global Investment Convention. I am Thorsten Terwyden. Find me on LinkedIn, Twitter, and reach out to me, and look forward to welcoming you in the city of Magdeburg, in Saxony-Anhalt, in Germany. Thank you very much.